Thank you, everybody. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited about this event today. Just looking out at all you beautiful sisters, we're here to just figure out what's on these brothers' minds. We talk about it amongst each other all the time. Like, why does he do this? Why does he do that? Why is he cheating? Why won't he commit? Do bad boys turn into good men? We have so many questions for them. So instead of asking each other, tonight we're gonna ask the brothers so they can give us some real answers. Thank you. As I just look around at family and friends and the relationships that I see, it's disheartening, you know, when you see the trouble within our relationships. And we need to get to a better place where we're listening to each other and just have a deeper understanding of where things stand and making sure we're on the same page, making sure that we're making better decisions in the mates that we're choosing in general. So that was a big purpose in throwing this event. Kazi came to me, I met him at the beginning of the year at a healing retreat that I had, and he approached me with the idea of Straight Talk No Chaser, and right off the bat I was like, yes, we need this. We really need this. Just me as a single sister dating, trying to figure it out, you know what I mean? I was like, we need this. I want to know what's going on with our brothers. And it's just like, communication is just such an important thing. Even recently, there was a brother that I was dating, and I was just like, what's going on? How come you won't commit to me? Like, I'm a good woman, like, you know, what's up? And he told me, I don't feel like you're supportive. I don't feel like I can talk to you when I'm stressing out or when I need to vent. And I'm like, wait, what? I'm your #1 cheerleader. I'm always supportive of you. But for whatever reason, that wasn't translating to him. So I had to listen to that. And then in turn, I had to let him know why I wasn't giving him 100%. Because you ain't committing to me. You still out here in the world, you know, looking for other people or whatever. So it really was very important for us to just communicate that to each other to get on a better page and move forward. So where you going, Kazi? Because you about to come up here, yeah. Without further ado, I would like to introduce the creator of Straight Talk No Chaser, Kazi Rolle.
Okay, how y'all doing? Salute. I'm gonna come down here, I like it. All right? Is that cool? Cool, okay. So, yes, I will at some point. So, thank you for coming. It's beautiful when you're living life inside of your purpose, because things kind of come together. I've been a little bit afraid to actually just put this event out here because I'm from New York City, and in New York I could do an event and people are gonna come because I'm known, but a lot of people don't know me in Los Angeles. So what if I do the event and then there's nobody in the audience? But you know, usually when you're fearful, that's when you're supposed to like lean into it and just go. And so I have a vision, and my vision is that everybody deserves to be in a healthy, loving relationship. I think it's our birthright. There's somebody out here created specifically for you. And so it's in my spirit to be a conduit to bring people together. One part of that is making sure we are on the same page and conversing. Back in 2003, I used to just do get-togethers at my house, partly because I was in a relationship that wasn't working out and I was curious. So I started talking to my homeboys or gentlemen that I hang out with, and they spoke a certain way, and then I would go talk to my sister's friends and realize, you know what, women speak differently than men speak. And so, but when we come together, we don't talk the same way that we talk when we're apart. And then it hit me, together apart. What if I brought people together and we had the conversations that we have apart? So I would have men on one side, women on the other side, and they would not talk to each other, they would only talk to me. And so we would have that conversation that was similar to the way that women talk when they're by themselves, and just so that we can listen to each other, because that's a forgotten art, listening. And we're gonna do a lot of that today, but I'll tell you more about that in a second. But what I started seeing was that the space was lopsided. There was more women in the space, because women are always willing to look at themselves, do the work. Brothers, not so much. So the room was lopsided. So a friend of mine said, why don't you turn the room around? And so the men can still be on one side and the women on the other side. So I say that to say that the event is really not only about the men coming here to speak, it's also about hearing what's on your heart, all right? And just the fact that you're here today says a lot about you. It says that you're somebody that would invest in yourself, right? Because you could be pre-gaming right now, like this is Saturday night, so, but you're here, taking the time to just say, hey, let's do some work. So being that, salute, speaking of that, some of my good friends just came in and they're doing the work, but I'll highlight them later on. But we're all out here doing the work and we gotta connect and we'll do that. So one of the things I wanted to see happen was, if you're gonna invest in yourself, I wanna see you get a return on your investment. How you say it? ROI, basically, ROI. I wanna make sure you get a return. So I wanna make sure that tonight, that every single one of you take something home, right? Take something home. But in order to do that, I need to know who's in the audience. I want to spend some time just talking to you. Most of the time you come to an event, everybody on this side is talking, but this is really a give and take, all right? So I'm going to ask you a series of questions before I highlight the vendors. I won't forget you. I'm going to ask you a series of questions, and all you have to do is raise your hand, all right? So let's start with relationship status. If you're single, raise your hand. Single? Raise them up high, because I'm doing like a survey right now. Single, okay. All right, I see some brothers sprinkled out, so okay. Make some connections tonight. How many people are in a relationship? One, two, okay, in a relationship. All right, married. How many people, like I say in Maryland, how many people married? All right, we got about 3, 4 married, 5 married people, okay. How many people want to be married? Want to be married? No, that's the wrong question. Wrong. The right question is, how many people that are single don't want to be married? I don't know. Don't want to be married. Okay, that's just side. Well, yeah, I know her, but that's a whole conversation unto itself. So we want to definitely go into that. I'm actually going to come back to you on that. All right, so we got the relationship status. Now let's take a step further. Let's go into education. This is important, education. So if you School of Hard Knocks, you know what I'm saying, anti-establishment, I got my street cred, School of Hard Knocks. Okay, you got 2, okay. All right, high school, how many people did high school? Everybody answered me. Yeah, at least went to high, GED, how about that, GED? Okay. What about, what's after that? Associates? Anybody has this? I have my associates. Okay. Reputable. 2 years, that's what they ask minimum for a job, right? You have two years experience at least. I mean, nowadays you gotta go 4 years. So let's go 4 years. Who have the bachelors? Bachelors. No, not if you're a bachelor, I said. No, bachelors, that's right. A lot of people got their bachelors. What's after bachelors? Masters. Is it? I have the masters. I have the masters. Salute, y'all. Put that in. How many people got student loans? That's all. Salad. Okay. Anybody? What's after that? PhD. Anybody? Doctor? Okay. You got a doctor? Okay. Lawyer? All right. Hold on. Bachelors don't get no love? Okay. All right. That's cool. All right. Let's take it a step further. So we did relationship status, education. What else we got after that? Huh? Yes. Any single moms in the house? Any single moms? Representing single mom? I grew up with a single mom. Okay. All right. How many people have been hurt before? Okay. Okay. All right. So this event is called Straight Talk No Chaser. So I'm about to go take it a little step further. How many people think that? Check the room real quick. Niggas ain't shit. Okay, let's keep it real. This thought is out there. I'm going there. Okay, cool. But you're healing. You're in your healing process. It's all right, mama. There's a difference between a highlight for you.
Niggas ain't shit or men ain't shit.
Ah. You want to highlight the difference for me?
I believe that a man knows his role. He knows what it is that a man should be doing. And of course, that man is not shit. That man is that plays his role. Provider, protector, all those things. The nigga is the one that you just had, you know, sex with or something like that, and he just kept pushing, and he has all these other women going around, and for some reason you think he's committed to you, and he's not, and he's okay with having you pregnant, and he's over here in the streets, and all the baby mamas, just all the drama. Just all the drama.
All ratchet.
Yeah.
I'll sum it up to ratchet. Ratchet. Okay, cool. How many people is dating someone right now and still trying to figure out some things? Okay, all right. Is there anybody who has something on their heart? Well, let's do this. Let me switch it a little bit. Let's talk about the men in LA, right? We're going to create a sentence together. So what are the biggest challenges with the men in LA? We're going to create the sentence together. So just give me some stuff to start with. They're very committed. They're not committed. Okay. Gotta be specific. They don't want to commit. No hospitality. Okay. Too many of them want white women. Okay. Okay, you got deep with me. That's just like if you spoke a word. That's like something. All right, so then they don't want to commit. They don't discriminate in their love. They don't want a woman like their mama. Okay. They have a lot of options. Okay, they have a lot of options. They're broken. Wow. Yes, would y'all agree? I see just nod your head. Nod your head. I see some people not nod. So some of them are broken. So we're going to use some. A lot. Okay. All right. What you going to say?
I just see a lot of black men out here in LA are so superficial.
Yes.
Definitely. I just see, because I'm not actually from here. I used to live in New York too, and then I've been a lot of places. And living out here in LA, I noticed that a lot of the men here are very superficial. The black men especially, they either want you. Like I went on a date recently and the guy, we clicked and everything, but he didn't like me because I was in a size 6. And I'm like, he said, wow. Yeah, I mean, basically, yeah. Because I told him, I said, look, I'm not 6. So I already told him that. But he's like, okay. But then when he saw me, he's like, wow. But I was like, well, you say you're 6'1" and you're like 5'8". So, but you know, it's like, okay. Yeah, right. But they're very superficial. Like, all they, you know, it's all about going to the gym and then, you know, I mean, medium size and big women want love too. Like, what's up with that?
Okay, just by the round of applause, there's some people's experience. So, non-committal, they have a lot of options. They are superficial. Yes.
Some of them lack drive or focus, or like they're okay with depending on a woman.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
using their car or staying with their mama and not really moving past.
Gotcha. Mommy, wow, this is, man, I got my work cut out. That bad? Yeah, you can say that.
To kind of piggyback off what she said, and then that goes into being raised by a single woman.
Being raised by a single woman, gotcha.
Being that
They might have experienced it, so they kind of
being able
repeating
to
it.
just depend on that woman, you know. And
Right. So it's real easy to grow up and date a woman and lean on her too.
Exactly. And then,
Gotcha.
And then if she was hurt, and you know, and all that hurt was put on him,
Right.
then how is he going to see other black women? You know.
Oh, okay. So he transfers that over.
You gotta
So he
get to
sees
the
women the
root
way he
of
sees
the
his mom.
issue. You got to get to the root of the issue.
Okay, got it. But before we get to the root, I just want to deal with the fellas. Let's deal with the fellas right now. I just want to get a scope before we even go into the conversation. How are you looking at men at this moment? You know, just so that we know who we're speaking to, what's on your heart, so we can speak specifically to what you have. All right. So let me just try to say it back. I'm gonna try to condense it. So the men in LA are, some of the men in LA. Most? Do we want to use that word? Hold on, we got a couple fellas sprinkled around here. Do we want to say most? Some? Some? Okay, let me just, okay, let's go there. All right, see, we're doing this together. A high percentage of men in LA are non-committal because they have multiple options and they commit but don't really commit to the highest level, right? They are broken and dealing with their own issues and are okay with leaning on the woman for resources and stability and emotional support and some good loving. Okay, okay, and they want that first before anything. Whew, that was. Well, we just focus on LA right now. That's where we are. But yeah, but you're right. You're not alone. That's almost verbatim the same question to me, the same sentence I created in New York and in the Bahamas. So there's something going on within our community, and it's bigger. Excuse me? Most. Okay. There's a high percentage. I'm saying we're still a high percentage because here's another problem. As a married man, right? Who's happy? My wife is here. I'm a happy guy. We only got 4 years in. Been together for 10. Tell you how long the engagement was. Take time to know her. Somebody told me one time. Take time to know her. It's not an overnight thing. But I'm a happy guy. But I don't run around saying I'm happy. What's the song? So happy. Right? Because guys who are happy are not always celebrated, and they're not always, dancing out the street and expressing it. Because you don't want to make other people feel, well, this is the pressure that I feel. I don't want to make other people feel like you're showing off and it's so corny, he's always doing that, so you don't want to overdo it, right? But we'll go and the guy who's unhappy will go and express how unhappy he is. But among men, it's not cool to just express how happy you are. So I'm saying that to say the numbers might be higher than we realize, but that person is not always exalted, and we don't give as much love to that person. Okay? I feel a shift in the room. There was some people like, I don't know. You haven't dated the men that I've dated. I sort of right?
Yes, so with that said, why don't the happy men try to rub off on the unhappy men?
What you think I'm trying to do? Well, it starts with one, there's something called the ripple effect, right? A lot of times we have more influence than we can. Like we're here today, and there can be a shift that happened in this room, right? I always say a woman is the great grandmother of nations, right? There's generations that come from a woman. So if you get shift, not saying that the man's not important, but the mother's the first teacher, right? And women have more power than we realize, and we're going to actually address that. But it starts with a ripple, right? So I want to start off with that it's possible to make that change as big as we're making it seem like it's just so bad. Do you feel disheartened? I get the vibe that women feel disheartened. Is that correct? Do y'all feel hopeful? Who feels hopeful? Raise your hand. I feel hopeful. I loves my man. Right? the hand just, but you're hopeful. I wouldn't say I love her. I like black men. I like the men. Let's say the men. There's a majority black in the room. I like the men. But we have some issues right now. Right? So it's not love. Well, give me a percentage. What's the percentage? In terms of where, I want to get a temperature in the room. Would you say black women, y'all love men at a 60%?
Can you say that you love black men and that you're not interested in being in relationships as standardly structured with them? I mean, I love black men. I'm not interested in relating in the way that is traditionally presented with any man, and it seems impossible with black men.
You don't even need this mic.
No.
Yes. I got you. Good point. So I am making generalizations, and there are exceptions to the rule. I can look out in the room and I see Asian, I see Caucasian, I see Hispanic. So, but I only see a small few. So, what we're going to try to do tonight is know that there are exceptions to the rule. That's one. There are some variations, and we will address those. And if you feel like your voice is not being heard, it's okay. make sure that your voice is heard and not added into the collective takeaways of the night. But for the most part, a high percentage of people in this room feel a particular way about their prospects of love, companionship, and family. Yes? Okay, yes, no, talk back to me. Yes, okay. So being that we're there, what I'd like to do right now, all of you have a card, right? All of you have a card. So what I want to do right now is, I want to move toward, let's take a step today. Let's take a step toward making some difference. Let's make a step towards some healing. Some of you might have had experiences in the past that have given you a particular perspective, and maybe that relationship ended, and you have a question that's on your heart. Why did he do that? Why he didn't call back? There's something that's specifically on your heart. Think of that question that's on your heart and write it on your card. Some of you might be in a relationship right now. You might be dating. You don't have a card. That's what you were about to say. Yeah. Zanetta, we need some index cards in the front. Some of you might be in a relationship right now. You might be dating a guy, you know, that the last relationship didn't quite work out, so you want to make the right move. So there's a question: should I do this? Should I do that? Why is he doing this? So you can get some perspective to make the right decision, right? There's a question on your heart for that. Write that question down. Some of you are not even dating right now, and you just want to figure out some of the things that we spoke about when we created that sentence of men are non-committal, they got multiple options, they're leaving on women. You want to know why. So whatever that question is, write that down. All right, I want you to take, let's say 30 seconds, think of a question and write it down. Because, check. Because being that we're here, let's do some work. And the work starts off with just putting the issue out there. These men have been courageous enough to step up. It's kind of scary. They're going to come out here and they're going to be afraid. They're going to be afraid. So there's some things that I think that we can do as women. I'm relating to you. I think there's some things that we can do as women to create a safe space for them to communicate. So I'm going to give you 30 seconds to write that question down, and then I have another question for you. Yes. Actually, where is she? Could you help me out? Nefer is going to collect those cards, and what we're going to do, we're going to organize them, because I want to make sure we have this conversation in an organized manner. When I first started doing this event, or these events, one of the things that I noticed is that when men and women come together, we almost always automatically become combative for some reason. And it's almost as if both sides are arguing about whose issue is worse. So as you addressing somebody, and they, you leave the toilet seat up, well, you leave the top of the toothpaste off. So both people are bringing up their issues simultaneously. So I said, well, how can I shift the conversation in a way that's fruitful? So the first part is what we just did. We had to get clear about what the problems are. Then from the problems, we got to say, all right, what step can we take right now to move towards solutions? All right? So one part of that is what we're doing today. So everybody put a question in already? Got a question written down? Some people don't have a question yet? Raise your hand if you wrote your question down. Raise your hand if you wrote your question down. Raise your hand if you did not write a question down. Raise your hand if you don't raise your hand when people say, raise their hand. Okay. Gotcha, I thought I would have got you with that. So here's the question. And we're going to start in 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Well, we already started, but I'm going to bring the guys out in 2 minutes. Here's the question. What is the biggest challenge you think, there's many challenges, but what is the biggest between men and women? What do you think is the biggest challenge? Just failure to communicate. Yeah. Trust, co-sign, honesty. Sex and money. That's like a movie right there. That just sounds like sex and money. All right. Sex, money, trust, communication. What did you just say? Somebody? Honesty. we don't understand each other, lack of understanding. Unrealistic. And let the church says amen. You want to just wave, right? Just wave. No, stop. All right. Yes. Not willing to put in the work. Raising them. Racism. Oh, between men and women. You just went there. It's like, this is on my heart. We need some healing as a people in the country. Gotcha. That's good. Vulnerability. The willingness to be vulnerable. Yes.
Women want relationships, men want freedom.
Women want, that sounds like, tweet that. Hey, what's the hashtag right now? Tweet that one. Yes. Unhealed wounds. Okay? So we made a long list, and everybody heard the list. Let it swim around in your mind for a second. Let's go top three. Top three. What's top three?
Daddy issues.
Okay, issues. Because daddy issues. What else?
Communication.
Communication is in the top three. Trust is in the top three. Just get one more. What's in it? Honesty? Sex is in the top. That sounds personal. So hold on, but let's go there real quick. Let's go on a little tangent. What, is it not enough sex? The sex is not good?
It's all sorts of things. Sex, it's a wide range of about.
That may be, we need to do just an event on sex. Which I just say, let's come and talk about. One and two, yeah. Abstinence versus, exploration and getting it in, as they say, in the urban.
I think your reaction to the idea that sex was in the top three for women was interesting.
Hold on. Well, first of all.
Don't get beat up, brother.
First of all, no, you're all right. But why is that? Why would that be surprising to me?
You tell me.
Well, that would be surprising to me. Well, that would be because I would say generally men feel as if, hey, I got mine. You know what I'm saying? Like that was on you to just go get yours. Right? That's ego. I'm not. But so I'm just saying. So as a man, that's what a man thinks. In addition, if you talk to a group of men, I would say they feel as if sometimes women lie to us and communicate sounds or feel as if, you know what, I don't know how to approach the conversation with him, so he's actually bewildered. If you talk to a group of men, I'm not saying that you're not expressing it or maybe he doesn't want to hear it and he's getting defensive in his ego, but that's why I said I feel as if we need to take sex and just open that all the way up. All right? So that brings me back to, we'll add that in the top three. So it's sex, communication, and trust. Out of the three, what is the biggest challenge between men and women? Communication. Are we going communication? All right, I see a lot of heads nodding. So we're going to go with communication.
Yeah, because you can communicate.
About trust. So it's the cause and the cure, right? It's the problem, it's the cause of the challenges, and it's the ability to cure it. Dealing with sex. Cool. That's just side, by the way, just so y'all know. She can kick it like that with me. All right, so if communication is the biggest challenge, let's separate it. Let's separate what do women contribute and what do men contribute. What would y'all say that women contribute to the challenges of communication?
They talk too much.
They talk too much. Not we, they.
We talk too much.
I'm just messing with you. You know. I'm just messing. So women talk too much, would y'all agree? Well, I'm sure there are others. What else is there? Talk too much? Look, it's just that? Talk too much?
I believe that it doesn't matter between men and women. It's how you communicate. I don't
So
think
how-
it's generalized. It's how you communicate.
Right, how you
You
communicate?
can have the same communication style, and it may not be a problem. But if you mix a person with another person that don't have the same
Same.
communication style, then it's a problem.
Excellent point. Did everybody hear that? So basically, she said that two people can have different communication style and that causes a problem. So that's what I want to try to pull out. So on the men's side, we're going to get to what he does in communication. But I just want to get clear about what would you say as women that, you know what, if I looked in the mirror, this is what we as women do that makes communication challenging.
I would say
Everybody heard that? So what women are communicating on the surface is not what's really going on. Raise your hand and I'll get the mic over because I want everybody to hear your answer. What you gonna say?
Timing.
Excuse me?
Timing.
A woman's timing. Okay, yeah. You can't, it's 30 seconds left in the half and it's for the championship, the whole kit and caboodle. We need to talk. Like, babe, you don't want to talk to me now? All right, fine. I'm being a little extra. Okay.
Defensiveness.
Defensiveness. Women can be. Also, we got defensiveness, timing. What was the other one?
Approach.
You just said listening skills,
What's on the
approach.
surface?
What's on the surface is not really going on. All right.
Sometimes women want men to be mind readers.
Want
Like,
us
you should
men to
know
be
why
mind
I'm
readers.
upset, and I don't always communicate it.
Okay, all right. So we had a lot out there, and I hope that this process is okay with you. I mean, I want to get to the fellas, but this is all by design. Just stay with me, okay? Stay with me. We're almost there. So for the women, I heard a lot. So we heard defensiveness was on the surface. We want surface. What we say is not always what's going on internally. The approach is not right. Talk too much. Not always listening. Let's go with the top three. That was a lot. But thank you for doing that. It's really easy to point the finger. But it's hard to just say, hey, this is what I'm going on. What's in the top three right there? Men get too comfortable. Okay. And we need to shake it up a little bit. I'm related. That's what I mean by we. Okay, I'm just related. So, top three. We said a lot. Think about all, let it swirl around. Let's not create any new answers. Let's just stick to the ones that we just said.
I think that it's very common that women say the thing that's easy to say and not the thing like she said.
Yeah,
They say surface stuff,
But not what's
really happening.
Yeah,
Right.
That's a big one. So that's number one.
Not to harp on this point, going back to sex.
Right.
So, that's why a guy can feel like, oh, Seth, I thought I was putting it down. Anyway, all right, back to what we're talking about, back to communication. All right, so women don't always speak their truth, right? They are holding it down and appeasing their nurturers, so they just kind of want to make peace with everything. Okay, gotcha. And we talk too much. Okay, how many people say with the talk too much? Raise your hand when we talk too much. Okay, y'all don't agree with that. You have a lot to say. So y'all don't think it's too much. Y'all think you're not being heard. How about that?
You're not communicating.
Gotcha. So, but let me start back to the question because I want to make sure we're doing this. I'm gonna end this right now. I'm gonna say the question one more time because sometimes we go off course and we forget what the question is. The question is, what do women contribute that make communication between men and women difficult? Defensiveness. Yes, women on defensiveness. The delivery. Aggression. Okay. All right. So I'm going to take all of those and weave them together. So here's what we're going to do. I would say, if I could weave that together, that women often are not really truthful about what's going on internally, and they are nurturers, so they allow men sometimes to have certain latitudes that they feel unresolved, they feel unheard, and so by the time they actually say their truth, it comes out aggressively and rah, and he's like, where's this coming from? Yes?
We already know the nature of the man we're dealing with,
So
we
you
prepare
got it.
ourselves, make efforts to get along.
You get
And
them.
sometimes we take too much time, and then it becomes an issue. And he's been trained to not hear.
To not hear you.
Yeah.
Okay? Receive it.
What's that mean?
All right, so let's shift. Now, what do men contribute to the communication?
Wait a minute.
What do men contribute? What's up?
What does that mean that we were trained not to hear them? What does that mean? I'm curious. What's that
Hold on. We'll open that up. We'll open that up. I'll just do it real quick. So what she's saying is that women are nurturers, and they're care, and they're empathetic, and they want to make sure that let's not win a quick battle and lose a longer war. So you know what? I'll let that go on for a little while and figure out the best timing to make my point. But in the process, the man gets trained because he doesn't realize that she's holding this thing during that time period. But we're gonna come back to that, because
Come back.
we're gonna come back to that. So I got clear on the women. I just want to shift to the men just to move things ahead. So for the men, what do men contribute to the challenges of communication?
I think the exact same problem, that they don't say what's really beneath the surface.
Yes, they don't say what's really on the surface. Anybody want to add to that? Yeah.
Because they don't be expressing emotion.
They're not good at expressing emotion. They don't always know what's there. They shut down. Okay, so yes,
Or they express what they think you want.
or they express what, I heard that a lot back there, so that's good. They express this. A lot of those guys back there feel that women can't handle the truth, so they say what they think. So here's the opportunity of today, right?
They've been with you for 5 years. It depends on what their truth is. After 5 years, they shouldn't be springing no crap on you.
Yes. Yes. Let me just, yes. Some stuff you just can't say with words. This says it all, huh? This says it all. Uh-huh, honey. Okay, got it. Got it. Let that live. Let that live. Let that live. We healing it. This is healing. Okay. So here's the opportunity of this moment. The opportunity of this moment is that we highlighted some problems, right, that we have collectively. We highlighted what was the biggest problem. We highlighted what we contribute, meaning men and women contribute. And so in this moment, we're going to do something about it. So today, part of the reason why men lie and tell you what they want to hear, that they are really afraid of you. And women, stay with me. They're really afraid of you. And as funny as it is, women are not aware of how much power they have. And I'm gonna tell you this, guys are ready to come out and tell the truth. But the more noise you make and suck teats and hands that go, I promise you, you will start to see the answers start to shift to appease you. And so, funny enough, going back to what you were saying, we're doing the exact same thing. Like, we want to tell you the truth, but we want to make you happy. And in trying to make you happy, the truth is not going to make you happy. So herein lies the rub. So what do we do? Because women say, why didn't you just tell me? But if I told you,
Well, if the truth is going to hurt, then you shouldn't have did what you have to be truthful about.
okay, that's a good point. Good point. So once we start doing this, it's going to end up being a circle because it's really nobody's fault because we both do it. Like if you want to, as a nurturer, you want to appease the guy, you want him to feel good. So you know what? I want to chase him away and talk about marriage and FICO scores. So I'm just going to laugh at his jokes or whatever, rock him, get him to where I want to get him. And then, he might do something that you didn't expect. And you say, after all I've done for you, you're like, well, I just met you. What's going on? So it's both sides. Yes.
I hear a lot of doing, like in these questions and the conversation and,
Yes.
and what people want and don't want and the observations and the truth. And if we just tell the truth,
Yes.
I don't necessarily think I'm telling on myself tell the truth. It's being truth that I feel is lacking or in need to be nurtured within the male and the female. And that, it's not like, oh, I did something, let me tell my partner, my person that I did this. It's who am I as a human being in this dynamic of love to be truth with them for myself and for them. And that's the expression. So that's what I'm curious.
No, that's excellent.
And what
And how do we
want,
get
right? It's not necessarily what you've done.
I promise that same point that you just said, by the time as we end tonight, we're going to end up right back there. Because, like you said, Yogi and Josiah, we all have something that's down inside. And sometimes we just don't want to just be it. We don't want to say it because we're fearful. We want to. It's part of it is control. We want to almost control the situation and not just go within. Hey, this is my truth, and being vulnerable enough to just say, hey, this is how I feel. I like you. We had sex, and I'm a little fearful that now you're going to change, or whatever that may be for a man or a woman. So, excellent. But we're going to end up right back there, I promise, right? And we're going to end up right back. So as we move forward, here's our role. So the opportunity is that women, I'm going to ask you to listen like you've never listened before, right? Listen is forgotten art. We're going to practice right now in our listening. And part of that listening is some self-control. Brothers are going to say some things that's not going to quite feel too good, right? They're being truth. They're practicing. Because like we said earlier, well, who's going to do something about it? So that's what we're practicing. This is a practice not only for the brothers to be truth, but for women to hear a man's truth and then figure out what do we do based on what we just heard. All right? So this is how the night is going to roll out. The brothers are going to come out. We're going to show them some love because they're going to have the butterflies going. They're going to be scared to death. But they're coming through it. I've been working with them and they're ready, right? But the minute they look in your eyes, that might shift. So we want to hit them with some love. So then once they sit down, being that I'm asking you to listen, I don't want you to say, hey, it's just men in front of the room telling you what to do. So there's a sister that's going to come out, Ricky, cue Ricky, and she's going to lead the conversation for you. After that, we have another partner. Her name is Audrey, and she's going to work with you to process what you heard, all right? Because there's two things that happen a lot of times. Men say one thing, and women hear something else, or vice versa. But tonight, we're going to hear men say some things, and we just want to make sure that what you're hearing and what they're saying is the same thing. So Audrey and Ricky, Audra and Ricky are going to help you to probe in the process. So I just want to introduce them right quick before I introduce the men. I'm just going to just introduce them.
Hey ladies, my name is Ricky D. I'm from Little Rock, Arkansas. I've been in LA for like 5 years. And I came to the last Straight Talk No Chaser, and I really, really enjoyed myself. And so when Kazi asked me to assist in hosting, I jumped on it because I thought it was a really, really good environment for us, and it was safe. It was safe here. You're safe with your sisters to ask what it is you want to ask and to just be open. And these guys, been vibing with them for a while. It's a good group of guys. They come from different backgrounds. They all have something different to add, and they're colorful. And it's going to be insightful and informative, and it's going to be fun. But I really like this safe environment, so that was my reason for wanting to be on board with the team. Hey ladies, how you doing? Good, you looking beautiful and stuff. I see you. I see you out there looking good. Want to know what these brothers have to say. So I'm in charge of the process. And I'm actually glad that I'm in charge of the process because I feel like I've had to go through a process myself. Like when it comes to love, I was like, what is this? How does this work? You see certain couples together, like how did y'all get together? How did that, am I supposed to dress different? Was I supposed to like, paint my toes a certain color? I don't understand how this goes, So O'Shea, who's on the panel, he's kind of like my big brother. So I would go and talk to him about certain things. And one of the things he said to me was, you need to marry yourself. And I looked at him and I was like, I don't quite understand what you're talking about, sir. Isn't a guy supposed to put the ring on the finger? I don't understand. You see, sister's like, yeah, she gets it. I didn't get it at first. But that is the thing I had to do, and it took some time for me to do so. I took his advice, and because I would see him and his wife, in their beautiful relationship, and I'm like, man, but I had to go within. And so when Zanetta asked me to be a part of this, I was like, yeah, I definitely do want to be a part of this because I feel like having these kinds of conversations helps us to understand what we need to do within ourselves, and helps us to see ourselves in a different way, because then you're attracting something great and beautiful and wonderful to yourself. So yeah, that's why I got on board. So yeah, we gonna have a good time. Oh, and I'm processing. So, I'm sorry, I'm probing. She's processing, I'm probing. So the guys, I'm gonna be up here with them, and I'm gonna interject, and I'm gonna try and get more of what I know that you want to know from them. So some of it is not harsh, but some of it's truth. It's their truth. So just respect their truth. You know, we hear something, we not ready for it, we like, I just hear what I just said. So just respect everybody's truth, and I'm going to probe them for more and get down to the nitty-gritty.
Cool. All right. So they're ready. We bring them out. All I need from you is just show them some love. All right. All right. So let's just start right now. Y'all start putting your hands together. All right. Y'all give it up for Janelle, Sharif, Barry, Makai, O'Shea, Jacel. Let's go, fellas. Show them some love. Y'all give them some love. Come on. All right. All right. All right. Brothers got the courage to come out here. Tell the truth. Fellas, raise your left hand. It's closer to your heart. Okay. Do you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth? I hear you one more time. Do you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Salute, you may be sitting. All right, Ricky. All right, 2 disclaimers. All of your relationship problems will not be solved tonight. And 2, they're here not as relationship experts, but they're experts on being men, right? They've been men their whole lives. So tonight they're just here to give you access. There'll be 4 rounds of conversation. First round is on courtship, dating. Second round is on commitment. Third round is on cheating. And then 4th round is anything we didn't talk about in the first, second, and third round. All right? So here we go. Round 1.